What's going on, everyone? So just the other day, we received kind of the game plan for the updates coming. On about a week ago, we received that saying that the update's coming in about a week. Here's some things that are attached to it, including the new main hard story mode, the new specialization system. But just 2 days ago, or about a day ago, as of recording this video, we had the actual preview of the content. So here's the skills removed, here's the skills added. We talked about these, but they're not actually including the hard story mode, and they're not including the mastery system as it looks like here, assuming this is all going to be the same. Now, they are adding the new adventure resonance system, and they are optimizing a few things within the game, and they are announcing the guild expansion system. So first off, I want to talk about the guild expansion system really quick before I talk about the resident system and give a little bit of a warning. I have two things to give a warning on. So with the guild expansion, I'm actually pretty excited about this. I actually don't remember which server I'm on. I have to go double check. But for those of you that don't know, you can only join into guilds across servers that are within a grouping for you. And before it was only about 180 servers that you would go in between if you're on one of the middling servers like I am. If you're one of the earlier servers, you have a bigger range. But I was around the these servers. I don't know if I'm 2080 or 2180 as my server, something like that. But this is going to really expand the opportunities you have to join certain guilds. And that's something that I've been looking for because I just kind of go along. I'm not someone who like reaches out and like starts messaging people or anything like that. I just kind of join the Discord, and then I preview the guilds that have opportunities to join. And I'm trying to look to where I'm like the very minimum of power so that I can obviously get the most progression possible. As someone who doesn't really spend a lot of money, the guild is a great way to kind of get a lot of progression in. This is actually pretty cool. In general, I think this is just an overall positive thing to do for the most part. So if you're someone who's looking for a guild and you weren't able to find one recently within the servers, you might be able to find one now. And I'm sure guilds are going to begin recruiting pretty heavily and probably boost the requirements for joining because the player pool is going to be expanding. That said, the more important thing we need to talk about is the residence system. And this is something that I think everyone should know before the update even launches. Because I know a lot of you, including myself, the first thing I want to do when a new update comes out is just dive into the system. And with Capybara Go, it's actually pretty easy to do so because there's a lot of resetting of levels and able to reallocate resources. The resident system looks like it's pretty unfriendly to that. So the first warning I want to provide is this announcement that they posted in the Discord. Canceling your adventure resonance does not return your consumable resonation crystal, which means that resonation crystals you're picking up from the magic crystal shop will not be returned to you. So before you start experimenting with all this stuff, make sure you know what you want to do with that resonation crystal. I don't know how expensive it's going to be. I don't know how easy it's going to be obtained. But before you do anything with it, make sure you don't just apply it because it's not something that you can return. At the same token, resetting your resonated adventures will not enable you to re-level them until they are no longer in a state of resonance. This is really important because if you are planning on getting a big combat power boost and then you kind of level them up and you're like, oh, I decided to de-level them to maybe upgrade another adventure to get the bonus attack or whatever it is you're looking for, you will not be able to re-level them until you remove the resonance state, which I'm not 100% sure as to what that will entail, but it's important to note, period. And of course, I'm kind of blocking the little image here. Let me move myself over. I didn't even realize that I was talking about this, but these are two very important things to realize if you're going to jump straight into the resonance system as the update launches. Resetting resonated adventures or canceling the state of residence, so choosing the adventure that you're going to resonate with. And again, we don't know all the specifics because the update hasn't actually dropped. And the only update that they've gotten in the Discord, and there's some leaks out there, I know some people know a little bit more, but the only thing that we know is every two adventures can resonate with one another to share star levels and experience level. And residence requires residence stones, which can be exchanged to the magic crystal shop. How much? How often? Don't know. How they share star levels and experience levels. Is it a 1-to-1 ratio? Don't know. But these things are very important. And again, I think it's going to be a major combat power boost for most people. At least if you're Again, I always tend to say low spender or free to play, but generally, even if you're a high spender, you probably don't have multiple like maxed out adventures. So I imagine this is going to be big, big, big. Because even if you're not using those adventures, you're going to take advantage of the all adventure experience, all adventure attack and HP bonuses that they're going to provide. This is massive, and I just wanted to give you a forewarning about this one. The other warning, I guess you could say more of tempering excitement that I wanted to provide here, especially for the people who are the low to mid class of spenders or free to play. Guys, double S rank equipment is probably not going to be something that we will be able to participate in for a long, long time. I see a lot of players kind of diving in, and I don't think it's a bad idea to save. I even mentioned in my video, I think it's actually a good idea to kind of just hold on to a couple of resources that isn't going to provide you a ton of value right now, but might actually change your gameplay when it comes out. Great. If it's actually accessible, great. We're going to have extra resources to immediately dive into it. That is not a bad idea at all. But starting to kind of temper your excitement in that the actual game plan that you have right now for your build, whatever it is, whether it's Angel Bow to start into a equipment swap talisman to Whisper or Sky Splitter, or whether you have the Sky Splitter or Whisper right now and you're like, oh, I might swap over to another weapon, that's probably not going to be the case. It's not like the double S rank weapons are going to be easy to obtain. This is like a new end game expansion that's probably going to be accessible to people who already have very established builds, at least mythic weapons, at least. And that tends to take anywhere from like 4 to 8 to 9 months. I mean, obviously longer if you play less, but on average 4 to 7 to 8 months for free-to-play players to obtain mythic weapons. So if you are at that point and you already have your mythic weapon, I'm still working on mine because I have not even been playing for 4 months at this point. You're going to probably still continue on with going with your same game plan of going for that mythic weapon, and the double S rank equipment is probably not something that you can even consider entering into until after that point. So it's not really going to change your overall game plan until far, far down the future. Saving resources, again, totally okay. It's something I like to do myself, and I'm always for people trying to prepare for the excitement of the update. That's just a fun thing to do, and it's not going to hinder your progression all that much. But alongside this resonance system, I think the resonance system is going to be the main factor that we're going to get a lot of our bonuses here. I think that's going to be the most exciting part about this update. For most people, I think the double S rank equipment is not something that's going to really change a whole lot until the people who have the ability to test out this equipment is going to let us know kind of what those mythic effects are, or whatever the effect is going to have. I imagine that they're going to get a whole brand new effect, and it's going to shape the meta completely different. So the mythic weapon, while that still could be your game plan, it might be mythic weapon into swap talisman to a different weapon and then move that into double S rank. But regardless, you need to get to that point where you can actually use a swap talisman on your weapon, and that's going to be the number one game plan. So if you're kind of wavering in your resolve and continuing on your game plan, don't. I think that's something that's really, really important. Once you have a solid game plan, you're going to be able to progress quite quickly, and that's going to be the main aspect. Again, resonance system hopefully is going to boost you up significantly. If you're able to actually share star levels and level like adventure levels 1-to-1, it's going to be a massive boost for those of you like myself that only have the one like level 90 Dragon Girl, level 100 Dragon Girl, and then applying all those levels to someone else. That's going to be like a couple billion combat power boost for most people, which is going to be massive in terms of increasing a couple stages here and there and progressing your overall count. It's going to be really, really big. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, and I just wanted to kind of announce that to all of you. Just temper your excitement a little bit and hold on to the rails, and make sure that you're not going to make any rash decisions here with your residents. Definitely, if you're someone who's able to pick up on all this stuff and read through everything, great. But if you're someone who wants to wait for a little bit more information, I'm sure there's going to be people out there who are going to be communicating with that with you all. And it's something that I'm going to be trying to do my best to learn about and communicate the best overall strategy before we all kind of commit all of our resources. Because I'm also someone who wants to make sure I get the most out of it. So just something to keep note of. Hopefully you all are excited. I know I am. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all for the next one.